Hello and welcome back to another episode of Casual Gastronomy, where today we're going to be celebrating National Pickle Appreciation Day, which is this Saturday, by making a sandwich which in a way stars pickles, and that is the banh mi.
In our research, we found that not every banh mi has pickles, but a vast majority of the recipes online do have a mixture of pickled carrots and pickled daikon.
And in our research, we saw that traditional banh mi usually has the Vietnamese ham called chalua, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, and head cheese, which is brains, and I don't even know where to find that, but that's okay because it seems like it's also perfectly acceptable to do a banh mi with just marinated grilled pork. So we're gonna be doing a banh mi with marinated grilled pork with lemongrass and shallot, and the traditional pate, which is pretty unique. I've never seen that on a sandwich before. And also, I don't know where to find the traditional Vietnamese baguette. So I think in a future episode, we're gonna try and make it from scratch. But today it's all about the pickles, so we're just gonna use a regular baguette, but I think it's still gonna be super delicious.
But before we get started, you guys know the deal. Give us a like on this video and make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss one of our videos ever again.
That's right, we're trying to become YouTube millionaires over here. One like is gonna really push us in the right direction, so let's get into it. We're going to start by making the pickled vegetables the night before so that they have some time to develop flavor. Theoretically, you can make a big batch of these pickles anytime you want, and they should only get better with age. But, for our purposes, one night should do the trick. We'll start by peeling 2 carrots and about 12 ounces of daikon. Then, cut them into little matchsticks. For this, start by trimming off the tops, then cut the vegetables into 3 to 4 inch pieces, cut off one side to use as a base, then cut the pieces into thin planks about 1/8 inch in width. Then, flip those over onto a flat side and finish cutting them into their final form. Next, cut off the tops of 2 chilies and remove all the seeds. Then, cut them into thin round slices. I would highly recommend using gloves or using tongs to do this if you're using really hot chilies like these Fresno peppers, because I touched my nose after doing this and it burned for like 3 hours straight. Now combine all of your vegetables with 2 tablespoons of salt, 1 tablespoon of sugar, a half cup of white vinegar, and about 1 cup of water. Then, give them a good mix. Next, transfer the mixture to a jar and add just enough water to cover them. Then, refrigerate your pickles overnight. Next, we'll marinate our pork. We'll be using about 2 pounds of boneless pork shoulder. You can marinate the pork an hour ahead of time, or you can do this the night before when you're making the pickles. As always, I started by salting the meat and letting it sit uncovered on a rack in the fridge overnight. Again, this step is optional, but I highly recommend it if you like meat that tastes good. Now, slice the pork into strips about 1/4 inch in width and set it aside while you prepare the marinade.
For the marinade, combine 1 teaspoon of brown sugar with 3 tablespoons of fish sauce, 3 tablespoons of soy sauce, 2 teaspoons of black pepper, and half a teaspoon of baking powder. I don't think that the baking powder is traditional, but we learned from our chow fun video that it really tenderized the meat, so we were really eager to see if it would work on this pork too. Speaking of the chow fun video, we also had some of this shoaxing wine left over, so we added in 2 tablespoons of that. You could substitute that with white wine if you have it. Give your marinade a good mix and then drop your pork in and let it do its magic for at least an hour.
Now it's time to prepare the veggies that will mix in with the pork. Start by finely chopping 2 shallots. Next, you'll need 6 cloves of garlic or 1 small head of garlic. Next, slice the tops and bottoms off of 3 stalks of lemongrass. Remove the outer leaves, then cut them in half and finely mince the inner leaves.
Now in a skillet over medium heat, add in about 1 tablespoon of butter, the shallots, and the lemongrass. Stir this mixture frequently and let it cook until the shallots begin to turn translucent. Then add in a couple grates of salt and the chopped garlic and continue to stir. Once the garlic begins to cook down and brown a little bit, remove it from the heat and set the mixture aside. Now it's time to cook our pork. Remove the pork from the marinade and place it into a pan on medium-high heat. We decided to try out this little griddle to see if we could achieve some fake grill marks. Cook your pork for 4 to 5 minutes per side, just until it's well browned and cooked all the way through. Once your pork is all done, let it rest for a minute or 2, then slice it into small cubes and combine it with our lemongrass mixture. Now it's time to build our banh mi. Our foundation will be a demi-baguette. Cut it down the middle but leave one side attached, like a po' boy. Now apply a thin coating of mayonnaise. Then spread on a little bit of liver pate that has been brought up to a room temperature and whipped into a spreadable form. Now put down a layer of cilantro leaves. We know cilantro can be a little controversial, so don't feel any pressure here. We're simply doing it to get the full banh mi experience. Next, spoon on a generous helping of our pork mixture. Then, apply a layer of our pickled veggies. Take a moment to appreciate your pickled veggies. Then throw in 1 slice of cucumber that has been cut lengthwise. And that's it, your banh mi is finally ready to eat. All right, so here we are with our completed banh mi. Very excited to try this. It took many hours of preparation, and we finally have one sandwich. One sandwich.
But if you have those pickles in a constant rotation,
you can use them for a while.
That saves a majority of the prep time.
Definitely.
Without further ado, let's just take a bite. Cheers. What do you think of that?
It was really good.
That's pretty tasty, I'm not gonna lie. What was the last sandwich we did? I think it was the pork katsu sando.
Yeah, I think so.
We don't do many sandwiches on here.
No, it's been a long time.
This is great. I love cheap grocery store baguettes. I know it's terrible to say, but there's something about them that reminds me of my childhood. And then, yeah, the fresh, bright veggies and the acidic pickles with the savory pork and then that sweet, creamy pate on there.
It's really good. Very good.
The Vietnamese, they really created a really nice sandwich here. I can't believe I've never tried this before and it's not more popular here.
It is really popular.
What?
Yeah.
No one told me. I mean, I do know it's not like completely unheard of, but I wish I had tried one sooner, and I still need to go actually get one from like a restaurant to see what they're like when you get them at a place that actually knows how to make them.
Yeah.
That's all we have to say. Not much in this outro other than this is a great sandwich. Great combination of flavors and textures. A lot of effort, but it's all in the spirit of Pickle Appreciation Day.
Oh yeah, and guys, when we used the baking powder, we weren't sure if it would really make the pork tender, but it worked. So you guys definitely have to check it out.
The thing is, we didn't do a control batch of pork without it, so I don't know how tender it would be without it. But I can say,
I believe that the baking powder works magic.
I think so, because this pork is literally like falling apart. Like it's so tender.
I know, it's really tender.
So I'm glad that we did that. That's our casual gastronomy touch. That's our unique element that we added to this recipe. Wait a second. I'm sorry, we're belaboring this outro now. Let me take one more bite and see what I think about this lemongrass. I've never tried lemongrass before.
Bite number 2.
Okay, it's subtle, but I can taste it. I was afraid that it was gonna be like really tough and really in your face. It literally felt like I was cutting like a branch.
I know,
It was so tough,
it was
but
really tough.
when it's cut really fine and it's cooked down, it mellows out a lot in flavor and texture.
Agreed.
All right, that's all we have. Now we're wrapping it up. Thank you for watching. As always, don't forget to hit that like button and that subscribe button, and we will see you in the next episode of Casual Gastronomy.